So everybody's been asking what's going to happen here this spring in the Austin metro area for the housing market. We're going to talk about that. We're going to also talk about what's happening with the data. Let's jump right into what occurred last month. Before we do as well, let's go into nationwide. We see that more buyers are going to be expected to come back to the market. There's a lot of pent up buyer demand. This was also data was pulled last year, and we got the same kind of information, but buyers weren't really fully jumping out of the woodworks because rates were still hitting that 7%. Well, good news, rates have reduced in just the last few weeks. We'll go more into that information in just a second, but at least we see nationwide buyers are getting excited. The question is, are they going to get excited here in Austin? Well, let's look at right here, median days on market for our days to sell. What we see is there's been an increase, right? You can see this very 2025 data. They're all increasing all price points compared to years before, through 2015 all the way through the pandemic time, which of course we saw a reduction. This again tells us that one, it's going to take longer for sellers to sell, and there's fewer buyers coming to market as of at least the first few months of this year. That was kind of expected because we see fewer people come to the market in January and February. Usually end of March, April, May, June is really where everybody comes to buy because kids get out of school and it's summertime. So let's talk about the data from last month. First, days to sell were 84 days, but I'm going to have a little asterisk to this. It's CDOM, meaning with homes that are currently on the market and with homes that were on the market before, pulled off and relisted with a new agent, we're at 101 days. What does that mean exactly? What it means is total combined 101 days for a home to go under contract and then another 30 days to close. So if we're around that 84 to 101, guys, this is over 3 months to sell. So expect homes to take longer to sell as a seller, and as a buyer, understand you have more inventory to choose from, which is great. New listings decreased by 4.78%. Closed price to original list price is 95%, which is great. What does that mean as well? It means if a seller wanted to ask for $500,000, a buyer is going to pay 5% less. That's what that means. Well, last month it was 94%. So basically, buyers are paying 1% more in value, and we're starting to see that increase. And we're going to continue to see that change as we go into summer. So buyers are likely going to pay more. They typically do about 4% more in the summertime. Also, median list price is at 499,000. Median close price is at 420. Active listings are at 10,859 with 1,871 closed properties. That means 9.42% fewer homes were sold compared to this time last year. And we're seeing that 3,864 or 55.1% more active listings compared to pre-pandemic. So again, we're seeing 50% more homes for sale. That's a lot. So when you're a seller, expect not to immediately sell your home like you may be used to in the pandemic time or even pre-pandemic time. Homes were able to sell a little bit quicker than they are today. You just naturally have more competition. For months of inventory, we're almost at 6 months. So buyers, again, you have a lot to choose from. So keep in mind, 17% of the active homes for sale are selling. Only 17%. Now, let's go into the number of homes sold resale for different price points. Pause this. It's a really cool just sheet to look at. You'll see 21% of homes up to $500,000 are selling. Go all the way down up to the $5 million mark. You see that 5% of those homes are selling. All of these numbers are actually reduced compared to months prior. So let's go into sellers. All right. So first of all, interest rates decreased. Really great news. We were at 7.1% entering January, and today we're about 5.99 to 6.375%. Why? Well, there's some fear in the market right now. The stock market has reduced, hasn't done incredibly well, which is great for mortgages and your interest rates. Because when the market's not doing well in one end, or the job market's not doing well, or there's fear and uncertainty, you see mortgage rates decrease. So, as much as really weird, as much as that is unfortunate, it's great for buyers who want to afford a home and have a lower monthly payment. Now, also, why is it taking longer to sell as a seller? You're seeing more active listings, and also there's 10% fewer buyers. So, I mean, that makes sense. And why is that CDOM 110 days? Well, we mentioned this. Sellers are also changing realtors, which increases the CDOM. So if they're on the market for, let's say, 3 months, and then they change to a different realtor thinking, well, it's that realtor's fault, then that's where that longer days on market occurs. And that's that combination of 110 days. So why do they do this? People think, again, it's their agents, the issue, but really it's one of three things. It's going to be price, condition, or marketing. And so if the marketing's great, but the condition's not the best, maybe you need to look at the condition of the property. Right now, 70% of buyers don't want to do anything to the interior. They don't even want to paint. So ensuring that your home is in a condition that makes the most sense for the price is really, really important. Also, almost 6 months of inventory, so it's just a lot of heavy competition. And the buyers do have a lot of heavy negotiation power at this point. But again, if you're in a great condition, great price, then it's going to get sold. And home values today are higher than they are and were in 2020. So if you look at the trend sheet, you'll notice that we are definitely at a higher value today than we were in the past. So wonderful news for sellers. Buyers, more inventory, more to choose from. You're not going to be pigeonholed to one home. And also, we already know it's a great time to buy because you're not going to have all that competition, and you're going to have lower interest rates compared to where we were even in December. Home prices are going to be competitive. Home prices that are competitive and priced fairly, like around that 300,000, they're going to sell quick. If you're in our luxury market, homes will be also available to you at a ton of inventory, and you're going to be able to get a really good deal if the property's been on the market for at least 90 days. Resale interest rates, 5.99%. We already mentioned this. Sellers will negotiate on inspection repairs and closing costs, which is, again, beneficial to you as a buyer. Home values have started to increase. I mentioned that a few slides ago by 1%, right? So buyers are paying 1% more than they were in December. And this will continue into spring. Naturally, homes are going to be more expensive and buyers will pay more. And then don't buy unless you plan to own the property for 3+ years. Very important. If you said, Brendan, I'm going to leave in 2 years, don't buy the home. So guess what? If you have any questions about the buying market, buying season, selling season, how to get your home ready, just anything real estate related, we're here for you. We're happy to answer those questions. All right, see you next month.